children. So the poem that we are going to do today is the poem on television written by Roald Dahl, the most popular writer of children's stories, a great novelist, a great poet and a great writer of short stories for children. And as soon as I mention the name Roald Dahl, the story that first comes to our mind is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm very sure, even if some of you have not read the story, I'm sure you all must have watched the popular movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory based on this story itself, starring Johnny Depp. Not only Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda, the enormous crocodile, Mr. Twitch, horror stories, every genre was explored by Roald Dahl, and he went on to become one of the most popular British writers of all times. So when such a great writer has written something on television, it becomes very important for us to know what this writer is trying to convey to us. So at the very beginning, or in the very beginning of the poem, it is becoming amply clear to us that the poet is totally against the idiotic box called television. Because in the very first two lines, he mentions that never allow your child around the television set. And it will be even better if you don't have a television set at home, so that your children will not be addicted to the idiotic thing called television. According to the poet, the television is an idiotic thing because it feeds ghastly junk to the children. Now, as we know, junk food is very harmful to our health. Similarly, children, the junk that goes on in the serials, in the movies and the episodics, it never has a good effect on the children. More or less, it always has some bad effect on the children. So that is why, according to the poet, the junk that is being shown on television is not at all good, but rather is destroying the imaginative and the thinking capacity of the children. So it is an idiotic thing, and children should be kept away from this idiotic thing called television. The poet, he is saying why he is so against television. He is saying, whenever I have visited any household, be it a friend, be it a relative, every household I have gone to, I have seen small children sitting in one place or laying down in one place in front of the television. Instead of going outside, doing some physical work, playing outside, they are just lazing around, they are just lying down, and their eyes are constantly fixated on the television. And that is something that the poet was completely against. This is the childhood. In this childhood, children are supposed to go out, children are supposed to read stories, but instead of that, children, whenever he went to any household, he saw children are just sitting in front of the television with their eyes constantly fixed on the stuff that is being shown in the television set. And according to the poet, it seems as if they are so fixated on the serials and they are so fixated on the junk being shown on the television set, it seems as if their eyes will pop out. They are least bothered about what is happening around them, because their entire focus and entire concentration is on the happenings in the television set. And he says that I have seen in one house about a dozen eyeballs pop out. Now children, as you know, it is literally impossible for eyeballs to pop out, right? So here we can say that the poet is using hyperbole as a rhetoric device to explain it to us how bad is the effect of television. He is using exaggeration, eyeballs popping out. That means the children, because they are watching so much television, because they are constantly looking at the screen, it is having a very bad effect on their eyes. And as science has proven The more we look at the screen, the more time we spend looking at the television screen, looking at the mobile screen, the harsher the effect on our eyes. We lose the power of our eyes. The eyesight power reduces, and accordingly, according to the poet, this is the main reason why smaller children nowadays are having the very less power of eyesight compared to the earlier generation of children. So that is why he says, I think I saw half a dozen eyeballs pop out. That is, too much of watching the television screen is having a very straining effect on the eyes and destroying the power of their. So after the poet believes that he has seen a dozen eyeballs pop out, the poet, he now addresses the parents and he says, parents, I can understand that when you allow your children to sit in front of the television set, you can do your work very easily. You can do your work without any stress, because you know that your children will be sitting at one place watching the television. So you can do the dishes, you can do the household work, because the children will not be jumping about, jumping from the windowsill or throwing things here and there, because they will be watching the television. So that gives you a lot of relief. But do you understand, in acquiring this easy way, in this easy way of doing your work, what great harm you are doing to your children? Do you even know what drawbacks are there if the children watch too much television? Next, children, we see that the poem, which is the poet has given the message by using capitalization. What is capitalization? We see that there are lines, few lines, one after the other, where each and every line is written in capital, and we can say that these lines are the actual message of the poem, the message that the poet is trying to convey to the readers, to the audience, to the mothers and to the fathers. So he says, by using capitalization, he says, watching too much television destroys the imaginative capacity of the child. The child forgets his power of imagination. Whatever junk is being shown, whatever, suppose there is a superhero who is being shown doing superhero stunts, the child, he believes, okay, there are superheroes, and if my superhero can do this, I can also do this. And when this child tries to repeat the act of the superhero, what happens? He gets injured, because we know that yes, human superheroes are there, but there is nothing called the Spider-Man, there is nothing called the Avengers. It's all a fantasy. But a small child does not know that. That is why, according to the poet, it destroys the imaginative capacity. It destroys the thinking capacity. It clogs and clutters the mind. Just imagine a drain. When a drain has a lot of dirty things inside it, the water cannot pass. The water cannot freely pass, the dirty water. And so the dirty water continues getting stored in one place, resulting in mosquitoes, resulting in diseases. Now imagine that scenario with your brain, where there are too many junk things, too many useless things stored up by watching too much television. What is it doing? It is cluttering up your brain with wrong thoughts, wrong beliefs and wrong thinking. So it clots and clutters up the brain. It destroys the thinking capacity. It destroys the imaginative capacity. It makes the children dull and blind, that they cannot understand the difference between fantasy and fairyland. That is, children, when you are watching too much television, right, you are actually watching, and you are watching with so much concentration that even if something grave is happening around you, you do not have the sense that okay, something is happening around me. You are totally blind to the happenings around you, and you also become very dull because of all the wrong things you are watching on television. You are not really learning anything important. No, you are not learning anything important. Whatever you are seeing and believing, that is something which will not at all help you in your real life. As I gave the example of superheroes, or suppose in the present times too, imagine the serials that are coming on television. Serial on snakes, a human being becoming a snake, as becoming a vulture, becoming a fly. Is this technically possible? No. But still, the Indian audience, the children, they are lapping it up. They are watching it, as a result of which such mindless serials are getting extended season after season. So who are responsible for it? We are responsible. So that is why, according to the poet, watching television makes the child completely dull, because he does not get to learn anything from watching television, and it clutters up the brain. He becomes blind to what is happening in his surroundings because he is addicted to television. Then he says that the mind becomes soft like cheese. Mind becomes soft like cheese because the child, whatever he sees on television, he believes it. He does not think, is it possible? No. He forgets his thinking capacity and thinks, okay, whatever I am seeing on television is the reality. This can happen. So that is why these are all the negative effects of television. It in no way contributes to the growth and development of the child. So that is why, according to the poet, it is an idiotic thing. So the parents who must have been silently reading the poem, or according to the poet, because he has written it as a sort of conversation between the poet and the parents. He says, the parents, they might have a question. They will of course definitely have a question, not might. They will have a question, and they will tell Roald Dahl, fine, you are saying that we should not have a television set. Then give us an alternative to television. How can we make our children be entertained in the absence of television? As you know, children today are having a very hectic lifestyle. So they need some source of entertainment, and as a result, we find parents are a bit lenient when it comes to allowing their children to watch television. So according to the parents, what is the alternative to television? Roald Dahl makes a very important statement. Roald Dahl says, why? Television was invented in the year 1927. How did the children before that keep themselves entertained? They kept themselves entertained by reading books. In those days, the floor, the bed, everywhere you look, there were books and books and books. Parents used to buy lots of books which the children used to read, and that was their source of entertainment. The poet mentions about various books that were specially written for the children, like Mr. Tiggywinkle, then there was Mr. Squirrel Nutkin, Mr. Todd, how the camel got his hump, how the camel got his hump, how the monkey lost his drum. There was the very well-known children's writer Beatrix Potter, these are all the characters of her story. There were so many stories specially written for the children. Then for the adults, there were stories on cannibals, there were stories on fairies, there were stories on ghosts, there were stories on pirates. So there were books which catered to all children, also teenagers. So according to the poet, when there is such a vast variety of books available for children, why do they need television as a source of entertainment? To this, the poet, he says that I have a suggestion, parents, if you can just listen to my suggestion. Since there are so many books available, and this is the best source of entertainment, because when the children will read the books, their vocabulary will increase, their thinking capacity will increase, their imaginative capacity will increase. So the poet tells the parents that just throw out the television set and in its place install a bookshelf. And yes, children will be very angry, they will fight with you, they will scold you, they might kick you, they might hit you, they might quarrel with you, but do not get dejected. Be strong, keep strong, because whatever you are doing at present is for the betterment of your children, for his or her future. So the poet says that after a week, when the children have got over their despair of not watching television, they will think, okay, let me see what is there in the book. And once they start reading, they will become so much addicted to the stories, which will transport them to a world of fairies, which will transport them to a world of pirates, transport them to a world which will help them imagine the scenes that are taking place. And as a result, their imaginative power will increase. They will think, really, wow, this is what is happening, this is what was happening. They will think, their vocabulary will increase, and as a result, the children, once they start reading, they will become so much addicted to books that they will go on reading one book after the other. And then they will realize the sacrifice of their parents, and then they will realize why their parents threw out the television set. They will themselves then realize that the television was harmful to me. I was not learning anything, but from these books I'm getting to learn so much, the morals, the values, the thinking. I'm thinking, I'm imagining, and I'm getting to know so many words, I'm getting to know so many moral values. So all these things will contribute to the betterment of the child, and then they will turn to their parents and thank them that thank you for uninstalling or throwing out the television set and in its place installing the bookshelf. And the children's love for their parents will also increase manifold. Because of the parents, the children are getting to learn so many new things. I think this is something which you all will also agree with. During the time of your exam, you will see your parents just disconnecting the net connection, disconnecting the cable connection, because your parents feel that if the cable connection is there, if the net connection is there, you all will not study. So this is the same thing that Roald Dahl is suggesting. Just like parents know that television and net will not allow you to study, Roald Dahl is in the same way giving us the same message, that watching television even when there are no exams is also equally dangerous. So children, you should not spend more time on television or your mobiles, but try to dedicate more time in reading of the story books. Yes, I know you all are having a very hectic life and your school life is taking up most of your time, but still, before you go to bed, take a book, take the Panchatantra, a very popular book. Start reading the stories, and trust me, you will forget watching television, and your entire concentration will be dedicated to the concept of reading of books. That is what Roald Dahl wanted to teach us. So this is all about the poem. In our next class, I am going to read the poem and do the line by line explanation for you. Thank you.